Yes! Huzzah! Oh, ladies and gentlemen, Walt Guardian here, and we are excited. We're very excited. You know this for a while. They say this before Christmas. Winterguard is coming. It means Walt Guardian, the Red Guardian, is coming to Marvel Strike Force. So excited about this. So excited. We're going to have a look at the team. We're going to tell you our thoughts. There is a lot of discussion about this team being with the new rework of stats. What's 2026 going to look like? I'm excited. That's where we're focusing. Like I said at the start of this series, is positivity, and we're going to look at the good. We're not going to get caught up in negativity. We're just going to stay on positive. What do we like about the team, their connection to the Marvel Universe, the animations in the game. We're going to be just focusing on the positive stuff. So I'm excited. Red Guardian, I've been cosplaying as the Wall Guardian, a bit of a little cheeky favorite of mine, passion project, and now not only an update, but the new stats. So moving into the new stat era in 2026, pretty excited, pretty bloody excited, I'll tell you that. So let's look at the team. Alrighty, Winterguard. So you would have already seen the blog. We're not going to go through there too much, but if you haven't seen the blog, a lot of great information here. Go and check it out. It'll explain what's going on. As a new player, sort of intro, what I will tell you moving on to 2026, if you're someone that wants to, and we're going to be discussing at length different ways of playing the game, play your way, and we'll put some stuff out there. But if you are a player that wants to, work on the future, you're just starting out and you want to sort of invest in the future, which we are doing with the new account. We're sort of looking at the new teams when they're announced, and then we're switching focus to them trying to build in that free player sense. So if that's something you want to do, if you want to start, working on the ones when they announce the reworks, that's when you can jump in early and start unlocking them or leveling. Now, with that said, there can always be changes. We have seen before, probably not with this team, probably the Retcon team that we'll discuss another time. But when a similar team came out with the new Warriors, they gave upgrade tokens, and there was a bit of a thing about that. People are spending resources and then finding out they're getting upgrade tokens. So there is also a potential that you may invest in something and then they give you rewards for them in game. So you always have that to play. So it's up to you what you want to do. If you want to wait or if you want to start working on them, play your way. But with that, so there is 2 new characters coming, and that's Ursa Major and Darkstar. So they explain down here. The 3 reworks are... did I say reworks? Reworks are Omega Red Guardian, and Yelena Belova. All right, so they've got their insets, their increased stats, their changes to their abilities and whatnot. All the information's in here. Like I said, you've probably seen this before. Content creators go through this on their content as well, YouTube, and you may have seen it on Twitch or other socials. So, and if you want to read it, I advise you to go to the website and slowly digest. Let's have a look at the reworked characters. So at the moment, Red Guardian, Yelena, and Omega Red are in the game because they're reworked. They're old characters getting new stats, and they're getting the new stats, which is cool. Right now, they don't have that updated to the game. So as a new player, you can choose to invest in them now, or you can hold off. Up to you. For me, as this is I think 8-day account. I'm focusing purely on the newer ones. I want to see how far I can get with the newer characters, and then building a narrow roster. When do I want to start branching out for bigger ones? So we're going to play through that journey. So this account's basically working towards, those newer stats. That mid 2026 is like where we're trying to get to in that leveling journey. So yeah, they don't have the new tags. They don't have the stats. However, they're in the game and they're accessible. Where are they accessible? Well, you click on find, and if you're new to the game, I'm gonna when I go through these sort of videos, I'm just going to retouch on some stuff that, you know, we forget about. So it is locked behind next 8.6, so it's going to be a while before we can grab them in the campaigns and use our energy to farm them. However, they do have them as a chance in the orbs, but also in the store, which we're going to go check that out in a minute. So depending on how you're building your roster, how often you're spending those shop credits, you can go to the good old character tab here. You can go down to previous ages, and you can scroll down just past the halfway point. If you've got to the minions, you've gone too far. I'm going to scroll back up, and you'll see that you can purchase the Red Guardian for 2,000 to get 10, and also Yelena. So Red Guardian's unlocked at 3 stars, Yelena's unlocked at 2, but if you get these every day, eventually you will unlock her earlier as 2 stars, but they will be at the same level, because you will get her to 3-star as you unlocked Red Guardian. Good to know. So yeah, that is guaranteed, and once this team is updated, this will move across. So whether it becomes part of the Age of Annihilus, Chapter 4, some other new teams may go into the next tab moving forward. They may even do a separate tab for new stats. Don't know, just sort of throwing it out there. So we'll remove from the previous age into the updated tab. All right, so that's where you can go in and work on them. Omega Red. So Omega Red is an interesting rework. Some people are very, very excited. I know on my main account I used Omega Red in some of the legendary areas, and it's going to be good. So we've just recently had a mutant team, and he is a mutant, and I believe the 2 new characters are also going to be mutants, with the old Yelena and Red Guardian being a skill. However, how do we unlock this character? So Incursion 6-7 is where you can get the red stars, but at the moment you can see that it's not in the game for me at level 45. If we go to events, you'll see that there is some of the active winter events. There's also the loose thread events, which is a new player campaign to unlock your Spider Society and some of your other Spider friends. But we start to unlock these mythic and legendary campaigns as we progress through. So at the moment we have the Atom Warlock, Shuri, Phoenix, Star-Lord, Magneto, Nick Fury, Dr. Octopus, and Iron Man. Now, for those of you that have played this game for a long while or are a little bit ahead of me, there is some missing. Omega Red is missing, Jubilee is missing, we have Black Bolt's missing, and potentially some other ones. So this is where you'll be able to farm that character. At what level? Good question, well asked. Hopefully in the next 5 to 10, and then we can review that. The reworks. Let's look at the new characters. This is Ursa Major, and for those who don't know, he is a bear man. He is a mutant, and if you've read the comics, you know he's a drunk. But this is what we have. Okay, what are my thoughts on the model? Oh, look at him. He is a big boy. I like it. He's a big bear. I think having a non-humanoid and a mutant that is a bit different in the game. I don't have a lot of knowledge in character development in video games. I know it is heaps better than what I could create, so I'm going to look at that. I'm not going to go and nitpick it. I think it looks good in terms of comic books and shows that I've seen. I think it looks fine. Interested to see more of these sort of characters come out, like Werewolf by Night, and some potential some other mutants that dwell in the sewer or the Savage Land. Some less sort of like human-like characters. I think is going to be great in the game. But yeah, we won't go into the stats and all that at the moment. We'll wait until they're into the game. And there's obviously been content creators, envoys have posted videos, and the Strike Spot gave us a good rundown of that. So I don't need to repeat that information. This is just my take, my excitement, my views on the info that potentially already have. So yeah, I like to appreciate the icons here on the side. I think good for someone who's more of a visual person. Someone who can remember the kits and don't have to go through and have a look at them when they're playing. I think, the fact that if the icons can sort of remind you of the abilities, then, someone maybe more, I guess, like I said, visually minded, and that will help them out. So, we've got like a roar here. We've got like a slash. There's the assault with a log, and then there's a maul. Yes, they match the statement, but do they match the ability? Someone can just add that little link. But yeah, that's a probably obscure way of looking at it, but that's what goes through my mind. So a little bit of an insight there for you. Okay, new character number 2, Darkstar. The support of the team, another mutant, so mutant gear there in terms of your leveling focus. We'll talk about that later. Loving the animation with the abilities. I think they've done a really good job there. Looking forward to see her in the game and how she synergizes with the rest of the team. With Darkstar, the more times I watch these battle animations, I feel like the daytime maps is where I'm really impressed by the ability. I think the purple just pops more and you see more of that effect, particle effect. Here we go, which is little boomsies. And then you sort of see that purpley, pinky mist move around. And yeah, that sort of like storm blast thing is bloody amazing. Very, very nice. Very nice. Yet again, we're not going for the abilities, but yeah, I think I like with the ability icons that they go more of that comic route in terms of how it looks. I think they put a fair bit of effort into that, and I always love looking at the new teams and having a look at the the animations, the art, and that effort that's gone in. The character model creation is something that I'm very interested in. It definitely makes me happy, gets me excited. All right, here is some gameplay from the recent Strike Spot when they unveiled the Winterguard. I'll put the link in the description below for that video. What I love about this game is the story and the character development and the animations. I think it's come a long way in the last 7.5 years, and I'm always thoroughly impressed. I think sometimes it's great just to slow the game down from, speed times 3 and have a look what the characters do. Especially when you're in like a CC and that ultimate just finishes the team or even wipes the team if they're all low health. It can be very gratifying. That was our review of the Winterguard, looking at the reworked characters and looking back at that Strike Spot in terms of the new additions that are coming to the game, being Darkstar and Ursa Major. Thanks for watching the video. If you like what you see, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, and all that jazz. And we will see you in the next one. Thank you very much for watching. Hello, welcome to Vault Guardian special tip. Vault Guardian tip number 3. How to claim your milestones on the web store. First, you'll get Vault Guardian to do little shrinkies like the Ant-Man, so you can see the stuff. I hear the attack dog in the back. He make the woofer sound. He don't scare me, but he scares that WaltMillsy guy. We click milestone, and then you'll see we have there's the 3 milestones. We have the spend the cash, bang for your buck milestone, which if you spend money, in the web store, you will get some goodies. Mainly, it will start off with the ions, the tier 3 level 1 ions, and then sometimes you get down and there's a little bit of cash gold and some training modules. Also the level 4 ones, this is the special ones. But if you spend 50 power core a day, you get the daily web reward. We can see here that we have yesterday's unclaimed, so it does stay in the rotation here for 48 hours. So you get to claim the day before, and you get 100 campaign energy, 1 ISO 8 50 ISO 8 energy. We get 2,000 premium orb fragments, which will open 1 premium orb, unless you're a little hoarder. And you also get the tokens for the battle pass. And you can then press claim and it goes into your in-game inventory. You'll see it down bottom left when you're in-game. I am Walt Guardian and I approve of this message.